Welcome back, everybody. Your time is 9:24. It's March, and amid all the madness, it's also National Nutrition Month. After being diagnosed with diabetes, a self-taught baker got back in the kitchen and created sugar-free recipes that still taste really good. So joining us virtually now is sugar baker herself, Jayne Jones. Good morning to you.
Hey, good morning, but Lauren, it's the no sugar baker, not sugar baker.
Oh, you're right. The no.
Yes.
You're right.
Completely sugar-free, Lauren. You know that.
I know. I do know this because we've spoken to you plenty of times. That was an error in prompter, but it was on me because I know better. Hey, let's talk about, first of all, I think your recipes are great. I love your story. So tell me about some of the dangers. You know, when we talk about sugar, when we talk about, especially our kids too as well at a young age, giving them all of these sugary type foods, what are the dangers that come with this?
Well, here's the deal. So obviously the first one is diabetes. You know, we always talk about the D word with me, but you know, also heart disease, folks with oncology issues, cancer patients are told completely to eliminate their sugar, and they don't know how to do that. On average, Lauren, Americans eat 17 teaspoons of sugar a day.
Wow.
A day. That's a lot. So if you're like me, right? So I got diagnosed. I'm kind of on the end of the spectrum, so to speak, like the worst of the worst, unfortunately, because I didn't catch all those warning signs. I have to look at labels. The FDA has over 75 different names for the word sugar, right? So you have to start being really smart about it. You got to read the labels. You got to see those signs. You know, the number one sign that we probably ignored with myself was this, and I hardly ever talk about it. Thirst. I could literally crush pitchers of beer, lemonade, tea, you name it. I could never get enough into my body when it came to thirst.
Yes.
It never was. That's a major sign. Also, the second sign that we completely ignored, and I probably had no clue about it, was my husband used to say, you know, you're kind of a real perfectionist, because I'd be like, can you please fix that picture on the wall? And he'd be like, tap, tap, tap. Or like, fix the darn picture, for crying out loud, it's crooked.
Yeah.
And he'd be like, what's wrong with you? I would see the picture actually as crooked because the eyesight was so off tilter, right? That was another sign the blood sugar was extremely high probably at those moments.
Wow. See, things you wouldn't necessarily maybe even think about or know about unless someone like you comes forward and says, hey, these are the things that we need to look for. I definitely want to talk about your book, because I think it's so important that people are able to maybe use these recipes that you give them and implement them into family dinner nights, snacks, to help our kids out as well.
Yeah, you know, and here's the thing. I think we talked about this one time too. So over the last summer, you know who the number one group I heard from? It was kids.
Yeah.
Bless their little hearts and souls. Kids with the diagnosed with type 1 juvenile diabetes, right? So they're saying, hey, look, we love all the treats you're making, No Sugar Baker, but hey, what about us kids? Well, even today over here, I have the No Sugar Baker French silk brownie. You guys were just talking about honeymoons and marriage. It is the perfect marriage of a brownie meets French silk pie, all wrapped up into one dessert. Everything in the cookbooks, got over 100 recipes in the second cookbook, which just came out. Everything you're going to find in your own pantry. That's one of the things that was really key for me was, you know, I'm not going to go out and buy a bunch of powders or like tell you you got to eat lemongrass for the rest of your life. You got to be able to survive and live, and you got to make decisions the right way.
Right.
So you know what? I was the tester, so to speak. This is the kitchen behind me became I'm a lawyer by trade. You know this. The kitchen behind me became my culinary lab, where I'd say, you know, this is going to work or this isn't going to work. So I failed at these recipes are all tried, tested, and proven. There's 100 of them in there, but it's not just a bunch of sweets. Because at the end of the day, you got to be able to eat lasagna again. You got to be able to eat pizza again. You just have to do it a different way, where it's completely sugar-free with a lot of modifications. But it's so important, not just for the diabetic, not just for that little type that's been diagnosed with type 1, but also for folks with heart disease, like I said, oncology issues, and of course, those keto fans out there. Everything is completely sugar-free for them. I'm not a trend dieter. Obviously, this is the way I have to live for the rest of my life. I can't have a banana anymore because it's full of sugar. I can't have a candy bar, right, that's full of sugar. So I have to figure out a way to do it, because if it's a choice between losing my eyesight or that banana, Lauren, you know which one I'm picking every single darn time. It is absolutely, completely sugar-free living. But that doesn't mean you can't do it, because, again, I had to go completely cold turkey.
Wow. Well, Jayne, I think you gave some great advice. I think you gave us a whole new perspective, and we really appreciate you taking the time and chatting with us today. Have a great rest of your week.
Good to see you. Have fun.
All right, and if you'd like to check out some of her recipes, you can go to her website at thenossugarbaker.com, No Sugar Baker, or check out one of her cookbooks. We're going to be right back after this quick break. But first, smile, it's your birthday. If you want us to feature your birthday right here in the morning, just go to fox19.com/birthdays.